To begin our ceremony, the choir will perform Gaude Mater Polonia. Thank you. Please be sitting. Ladies and gentlemen, here we came together for the graduation ceremony for the 2019-2025 class. Usually, the ceremony was attended by Vice Rector Professor Marta Mendel, representing the university authorities. This year, she's unable to attend due to professional obligations. But luckily, she will send her warm greetings to everyone remotely. I would like to welcome our many distinguished guests. His Excellence, Patrick Hafney, Ambassador. Ambassador of Ireland to Poland. Mr. Ambassador, thank you for joining us. You are reliable and always welcome guests at our celebrations. Please accept our sincere wishes on the occasion of the recent celebrated St. Patrick's Day. Word of warm welcome go to representative of International Medicine Studies, a leading specialist agency for prospective undergraduates in veterinary medicine in Central Europe, Ms. Margita Hubkova. I would also like to welcome invited teachers. Professor Anna Winnicka, Professor Piotr Ostaszewski, Dr Joanna Zarzyńska, and Mrs. Beata Czerwińska. Especially warm words go to Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture and Ecology, Professor Irena Suwara. She will be later. I would like to welcome Director of the Institute of Veterinary Medicine, Professor Marcin Bambura. Vice Director of the Institute of Veterinary Medicine, Professor Magdalena Chłopecka-Słomińska. members of Scientific Council of the Institute of Veterinary Medicine, as well as members of Program Council of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. And ladies and gentlemen, especially warm words go to today's lecturer, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Colonel Krzysztof Szpejna, from Department of Military Health Service, Ministry of National Defense. Above all else, I would like to welcome our graduates and their families and friends who came us from all over the world, since this is your celebration. Now allow me to share a few words. Distinguished guests, formal issuing of diplomas is our faculty's tradition. I'm therefore delighted to see our graduates, to see their families, and to see invited guests here. Dear graduates, during the last few years of your studies, multiple world-shaping events played out. We are eyewitnesses of many, I may say, disasters. Firstly, our lives have been shaken by the global pandemic. Probably you remember this moment. And pandemic, for a moment, disrupted our university's functioning. But we survived. Then, millions of lives in the Ukraine have become upturned by the cruelty of war. And for now, there are no prospects for its quick end. The aforementioned events make us reflect on how unstable the modern world still is and how moments like today should be treasured. When I was a child, I used to dream of the orderly 21st century, ruled by reason and supported by advanced technology. As a fan of science fiction novels, I used to imagine a world free of diseases, one inhabited by happy humankind living in peace, making interplanetary journeys, and discovered new worlds. It was a world seen through the eyes of a child, inspired by literature, great works of cinema, but also funny, popular animated series such as Jetsons. Probably you remember. Unfortunately, it turned out that despite technology, not much has changed since antiquity. I can say this because, as an anatomist, I am still somewhat anchored to the ancient world, most noticeable by the continued use of Latin and Greek nomenclature. We have not yet eradicated the vast majority of diseases, but new ones have already joined the ranks. New viruses attacking human population, attacking animals. We have not solved the world's socio-economic problems. New conflicts keep exploding in different regions. And to add insult to injury, we have not yet discovered any new worlds. Despite all that, I'm also noticing some positives. One such positive is that we keep trying to better our world. And this very desire is the ultimate cause of today's ceremony. The people from almost all over the world have gathered to celebrate the efforts of our graduates. We see the beauty of the world, marvel at it, and admire the various manifestations of life. The tradition of formally awarding graduation diplomas should not be considered a farewell, as we do not wish to cut ties with you. You are our graduates. And if you remember the song by Gautier, Somebody That I Used to Know, I have to say that this will not happen in our relationship, which will remain cordial forever. We are happy when you visit the university years later and we can share memories and be proud of your achievements in your professional life. Also today, among us, there are doctors of veterinary medicine who finished our faculty a couple of years ago. Can you stand up and wave to us? So, as you can see, it's not a farewell. So, we can share memories and be proud of your achievements in your professional life. So, we celebrate academic tradition. For those interested, that is what pride in the traditions of the university and the achievements of its graduates looks like. That's academic tradition. That's academic tradition. The tradition of formally awarding graduation diplomas should be understood as a day when the older colleagues pay their respects to younger ones and welcome them into the professional life. It can be linked to a tribal rite of passage, something that has been an important part of all cultures since the dawn of mankind, that marks a person's transition between childhood and full inclusion into a tribe or social group. We are a tribe of veterinarians. While the academic songs and costumes differ from the ones commonly considered tribal, the idea beneath it all has stayed largely the same. So, as you can see, not much has changed in this matter since the Stone Age. Well, I may have exaggerated a little, because we have a hint of change from the Stone Age. We are not dressed in the skins of hunted animals, but we are in academic togas. Some will say that we look a bit like a gospel choir, but this is an academic tradition that we have continued unbroken, especially in Europe, since the Middle Ages. Although we do not meet in the cave by the fire, but we have the need to celebrate together to highlight these wonderful moments of obtaining diplomas by our students. Celebrating together strengthens us, show that we celebrate the achievements of our graduates, and give us strength to take on the next challenges. At this point, there are many hopes and expectations on both sides. You hope to realize your goals, both personal and professional, while we hope they will come true in 100%. For 5.5 years, we have been trying to pass on to you the knowledge and practical skills that will be foundations of your professional future. I have no doubts that these foundations will continue to be strengthened by the knowledge gained during various internships and by the experience gained in work. In the course of your studies, there have been uplifting moments, and there have also been funny moments. Personally, I can say that I am happy. I had the opportunity to observe you during your studies and witness the tremendous change that took place during that time. Especially when some of you finished your study with the last labs with me. Much has changed. From your first tentative steps in anatomy to clinical subjects. The memories prompted me to ask myself, who is graduate of our family, of our faculty? For many years, at the national level, in the frame of European regulations, there have been attempts to standardize didactic processes. It's a bureaucracy. Attempts to adopt certain measurable criteria defining the quality of didactics. And I do not know if this is the right term, but also the quality or value of the graduate. So, in the description of the study curriculum, there is an element described by the term silhouette of the graduate. There are also formulations that define the so-called learning outcomes, summarizing the range of knowledge, skills, and range of social competences that characterize the graduated person. They begin with the words, graduate knows and understands, or graduate can, or graduate is able to. In addition, implementing the current guidelines, we used a coding system that to outsiders sound like a kind of game. And the conversations of people involved in teaching to an outsider listener may sound like the soundtrack to war movie, in which someone gives coordinates for firing on enemy troops. I will use the example of the subject for which I am responsible. So, graduate who has passed topographic anatomy ranges from AW1 to KS7. Under the symbol of each of the dozen or so outcomes is a range of knowledge, skills, and competences, such as an understanding of the need to consolidate one's knowledge and the need for lifelong learning. But is this image created for the needs of official bureaucracy a sufficient description of a graduate? That's the question. If it's appropriate description of a graduate, does it fully depict a person who, for the last 5.5 years, has been with us, spending nights studying for exams, running from class to class, visiting half of the country, going on rotations and field exercises to veterinary clinics, farms, animal shelters, slaughterhouses, animal products processing plants, and assimilated thousands, if not tens of thousands, of terms from basic sciences, preclinical sciences, and finally, clinical subjects. It seems that the officially functioning description, because of its form, does not reflect even a microgram of the activity of veterinary student. Our graduate is a person who has coped with many difficulties and has accomplished the almost impossible, because in 11th semester he has completed enough hours to fill full 6 years of study, 12 semesters, which are concentrated in 11 semesters. In addition, in our professional work, dear colleagues, I may say colleagues, you will be judged on the basis of completely different results. It seems that the most objective, which are the health of animals and the satisfaction of their owners, with the results of your work and, consequently, the trust that the choices you make are based on knowledge, on real academic knowledge. After all, the treated cow or dog and its owner, during the first contact, do not know that they are dealing with a potential superhero, who admittedly is not an agent with the code name 007, but instead a man behind whom secret codes from AW1 to KS7 are hidden. Animals and their owners need support. They need care. They need simply a good professional. A person committed to her or his work, empathetic and understanding of their needs. And that is exactly who our graduate is. Let me conclude by addressing this year's graduates once again. At the beginning of your professional careers, I wish you, dear colleagues, that your daily work is not only a source of professional satisfaction from duties well performed, but also that your efforts enjoy social recognition and trust, which veterinary surgeons have been and still are commonly perceived as persons representing the highest ethical standards. I also wish you success in your personal lives, so that your professional career development does not overshadow what is even more important. You may ask me, what is more important? That you love and you're loved by someone. Because the so-called career has different dimensions. For some people, success means specialization, or academic degrees, or titles. For some, it equals financial status. For others, it means living for someone else. And that, in my opinion, is the most important part of life. Whatever your views on the matter, I simply wish you from the bottom of my heart all best of luck in your lives, both professional and otherwise. Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask you to play the speech of Mrs. Rector Mendel.
Guests, proud parents and friends, dear graduates. It seems to be our destiny to convey messages through recordings. The beginning of our acquaintance was at the time of the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Surprised by the situation and the need for isolation, cut off from loved ones, but also from direct contact with the university, we communicated at this time through all the channels available. I perfectly remember the spontaneous recording and the words addressed to you, students, but also to your loved ones. History likes to repeat itself. Admittedly and fortunately, I'm not quarantined, but thousands of kilometers separate us, and there's 12-hour difference which makes my presence with you today impossible. So let me address you today in this way as well. First of all, I would like to thank you and congratulate you. It's been wonderful to host you for the past 5.5 years at the Warsaw University of Life Sciences, a university that is dynamically changing and I hope becoming more and more friendly to students and the challenges of the modern society. From now on, I hope you'll be proudly called yourself alumni and ambassadors of our university. Remember, this university will remain your alma mater forever, and you'll be always very, very welcome here. I wish you that the profession you're about to begin will become a source of satisfaction, inspiration, and motivation for further professional development, and most importantly, it will make you happy. Be brave and considerate. Do not be afraid of challenges, but remember to ensure the welfare of animals and do not forget your own needs and emotions. Take care of yourself. If I could have been with you today in the Crystal Hall, I probably would have hugged each of you, congratulating you on your graduation success. Since I can't, I look forward to the chance to meet again with you and catch up. So for today, please have fun, celebrate, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you.
It was a speech of Vice Rector Mendel, Directory from New Zealand. And now I would like to ask Professor Marcin Bańbura to give a speech.
Mr. Dean, High Council, dear graduates, ladies and gentlemen, there are two most important days of life of the academic community. One of them, opening of the new academic year, you left behind. And now you reached the second one, graduation day. You have been waiting for this moment a very long time. I know that you can't wait to grab your diplomas and run to see your first patients. But I hope that you did not make any appointments for today. Because where is a graduation ceremony, there must be a speech. I'm third in a row. Don't worry, I'm going to make it as short as possible. Graduation is such an important milestone for graduates and their families, and I congratulate you all on your achievement. The completion of your degree is a great personal accomplishment and is also a milestone shared by parents, siblings, and friends who contributed to your success. Staff are also proud of your achievement and wish you well in your chosen career as you leave Warsaw University of Life Sciences as our valued ambassadors. Well, we did it. You did it. You accomplished one of the major early milestones of your lives, university graduation. This is a major step in the journey of your lives, one that should be recognized for its immense significance. It is an act not only of personal commitment, but also one of pride. We all worked hard to get to this day. Well, sometimes we, teachers, work even harder than you. And our work did not go to waste. A university diploma is a powerful tool in this world, one that opens many doors of opportunity for anyone who is lucky to have one, who is lucky enough to have one. But remember, graduation is not only an end goal in itself. It is instead a part of the larger journey of life. Wherever your future takes you, let it take you somewhere. Life is a journey, and all accomplishments we achieve during its course should be taken as a starting point for further achievements. Your graduation should serve as such a launching point for your professional career. Life is a journey. We don't stop growing once we get our diplomas, and your profession, well, our profession, gives each of you new opportunities to continue growing and to learn new skills that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. This graduation has already shown us how capable you all are of accomplishing your goals when you commit yourself to them. I hope all of us here today can take this personal accomplishment as an example of how anything is truly possible when we put our minds to it. Dear graduates, just do it. Take each new problem on with confidence, knowing that you have achieved great heights and are well equipped with the necessary tools to tackle your future. The road that lies ahead won't be easy. There will be obstacles and missed exits, potholes and roadblocks. There will be times when each of you will feel like he or she cannot possibly go on. There will be times when each of you will think he or she is alone, backed against the wall. But you are not alone. You are all in this journey together. You have made it this far. Why should you back out now? Nothing worthwhile is easy, and that includes making the most out of your future. But just do it. Keep pushing, because we know you can achieve your dreams and because you are worth it. This is what you have to do. You have to find out what makes you get up in the morning and want to run to work. You have to find for yourself where the motivation comes from for those long hours and hard work that somehow is fun. There are many career paths you can choose in this profession. Primary care of animals is where many of you will start, and change is where many of you are headed. Learning new skills will be necessary and hard work to keep up with the profession, and you will carry on your shoulders great responsibilities. As Dr. Gerhard Schurig, former Dean of the Virginia Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine, said, "Matters of life and death will be in your hands. Matters of public health will be in your hands. Every day you will make decisions that will change the lives of both people and animals." From this day forward, make each decision with your best interests in mind. Believe in yourselves so that you may reach your goals and fulfill your dreams. Be the best that you can be so that you may fill out your lives and the lives of those closest to you with happiness and with pride. You have already taken the first step by making it to this ceremony today. Now it is time to take the next steps in the journey that is your lives and begin to build your futures. Just do it. How do you know that you took the right path? Well, if before falling asleep, you will ask yourself two questions. Did I learn anything today? Did I have a fun today? And both answers are yes. It means that you have made a good choice. I hope you enjoyed your stay in Warsaw, and remember, although you come from many different countries, Warsaw University of Life Sciences always will be your university. Faculty of Veterinary Medicine always will be your faculty, and you always will be welcomed on our campus. Congratulations to the class of 2025. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor, for your kind words. Let's listen a few words from the representative of IMS, Mrs. Margita Hubkova.
Dear Dean, dear Vice Dean, dear professors, dear guests, and most of all, dear graduates. Today is your day. You earned it. You earned it by hard dedication, persistence, strong will, I am sure by many sacrifices too, and most of all, a really, really hard work. You are called all kinds of names: I-generation, Gen Tech, online generation, post-millennials, Gen Z. Call yourself what you prefer, but the sources have great expectations for you. Born between 1996 and 2010, your generation is set to be the most educated and sophisticated generation than all the other before, with much higher percentages of young people attending college and university education than ever before. Researchers are excited about your ability to function in both the real and the virtual world. You can easily switch between these two worlds as you perceive them as complementary to one another. You multitask so well. You quickly share information with others, which I'm sure give headaches to your professors sometimes. Communication processing among you is continuous as you use wide variety of communication devices or social media. We only wish we could catch up with you. Despite your young age, many of you are already professionally active, making you more independent and mature. 72% of the respondents of the research I read were asked to choose as many characteristics as they identify with. As the result, the most important characteristic of that sample was feedback from someone who delegates tasks to them. Your generation got used to not only giving feedback, for example, liking different things on social media, but your generation is also expected to feedback, to receive it, and perceive the communication process as bidirectional, which was probably not always met with excitement it deserved. What the research emphasized is that this feedback seems to be of great value to your generation. And so, here, I dare to give you a bit of feedback on my part. I am grateful to have been able meeting such young and fine people 5 years ago, and thankful for being able to stand here today, talking to you, upon you graduating a very demanding program. Under extraordinary world circumstances that seemed to change and escalate each single year, adding to the challenges of being away from home and your loved ones. You showed an extreme strong will and resilience, and we are very, very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind words. Now it's time for the graduation lecture on the role of veterinarians in military service, which will be given by Colonel Krzysztof Szpejna.
Your Excellency, Mr. Dean, distinguished guests, graduates. It's an honor and a privilege to stand here in front of you on this very special day and present you development opportunities of the DVMs on a little bit different angle that you've already know. So the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine in Military Service changes and responsibilities in service of public health. Well, in the Army. But before we enter in the military medical service area, allow me to deviate a little bit and to share my thoughts with you. Just small food for thought. As a vet, you are prepared to face many challenges. Some of you will become amazing clinicians. Some of you will be scientists. Surely some will become a public health officer or mid-hygiene service officer. Maybe some of you will join the army or find a life path in another occupation. But please keep in mind that you have chosen one of the most demanding occupations on the face of the planet Earth. In comparison, physician, doctor of medicine, has just one species and one species only. When you had to learn by heart at least 8 or more different species. You are internist, surgeon, radiologist, gynecologist, laboratory specialist, microbiologist at the same time. And of course, I would almost forget a pediatrician because our patients do not talk. Again, it is extremely hard job, but believe me that on the other hand, it can be so satisfying. How many of you have chosen veterinary faculty because I love pets? How many of you think this way now? But coming back to my presentation, just a short disclaimer that I would like to stress that definitions and opinions in the presentations are mine only and do not represent the opinions of Polish Armed Forces. So to know what the military doctor of veterinary medicine does, we need to know what it is. So I came up with definitions. And military veterinary officer. It's a device that incorporates several tools within the single unit. Okay? Or to take more humanistic approach, military veterinary officer is a well-rounded individual, gifted and skilled in many different areas. To tell you the truth, I will not dive deep into details and shortly present you the main military veterinary inspection areas of responsibility. But keep in mind, there are so much more than those I will present. Foremostly, food inspection, audits of food suppliers providing food of animal origin to the Polish Armed Forces. Well, you could ask, why on earth, during the 21st century, would anybody do the audits? Everybody is so knowledgeable, but it's not uncommon when we can see this. Secondly, supervision of health quality of foodstuff of animal origin in military units and military institutions. And we conduct inspections and education for kitchen personnel to reach appropriate standards. The third one would be laboratory evaluation of food of animal origin. And taking under consideration only those 3 points, I am confident that you are the subject matter experts in food safety thanks to the effort of your mentor, your guardian angel, and your nemesis, Vice Dean Jackowska-Tracz. Another part of our job is supervision over the transport of foodstuff of animal origin, and another one is a protection and episodic surveillance of troops, which includes analysis of the episodic situation in deployment areas, including cooperation with civilian veterinary authorities, veterinary support for military personnel appointed to assist public administration in eradication of biological threats, and actually Well, the world without disease, it's a great idea, but some of us could lose their jobs. Border biological protection. The biological welfare agents and detection, monitoring, and identification. But not only. The military veterinary inspection is also about animals. So we provide supervision over welfare of service animals in military units, as well as prophylaxis and treatment. We also provide wide spectrum of veterinary support to retired animals. In Polish Armed Forces, we're dealing with military walking dogs and military walking horses. We are providing military veterinary support for allies and partnership states. We are providing education activities and training. For example, as you can see, this is example of training for K9 TC333. It stands for dog, military walking dogs, tactical casualty combat care. Another one, it's multinational cooperation. And while I could talk about tasks and responsibilities of DVMs in the Polish Armed Forces for hours, I have realized that my presentation should not be focused only on the Army. I figured out that I should make a point that maybe, just maybe, you could embrace and remember. That's why I came with the thesis. The doctor of veterinary medicine is a police officer on duty. That our job is to protect and serve for the public health. So what would be your prime directives? Serve to the public interest, protect the public, and uphold the law. To prove my statement, I would like to use One Health concept that you've already know, followed by WHO. One Health is an integrated, unifying approach to balance and optimize the health of people, animals, and environment. One Health concept recognizes that the health of people is closely connected to health of animals and our shared environment. It applies to a range of issues, including, and would be zoonotic disease, well, which you already know that are infectious disease caused by pathogens that spread between animals and humans, such as anthrax, brucellosis, avian influenza, rabies, and so many more. And you'll be dealing with it. Vector-borne disease, which affects people who get bitten by a vector, mosquitoes, ticks, lice, fleas, well, such as dengue fever, West Nile virus, Lyme disease, malaria, that you'll be dealing with them as well. Who would better deal with the vector-borne disease than we, as a vets? Very important part, food safety and foodborne disease caused by contaminated food at any stage of the food production, delivered and consumption chain, such as norovirus, salmonella, campylobacter, listeria, and so on. Another step would be antimicrobial resistance, which happens where germs such as bacteria and parasites develop the ability to defeat the drug designed to kill them and continue grow and spreading. And we can limit AMR due to responsible antibiotic usage. And last but not least, the environment, which affects anthropogenic global stressors, including land use change, biodiversity loss, climate change, and environmental pollution of soil, water, and air, which in turn increase risk to human health. So taking under consideration that all the functioning of the health system in the prevention and management of infectious zoonotic disease, production-related disease, AMRs, food safety, and other hazards mostly depend on DVMs. As you can see, this is the wide but not even finished catalog of activities that can and should be managed by doctors of veterinary medicine due to acquired skills, knowledge, and responsible attitude. Therefore, in conclusion, I hope that I was able to prove DVM's crucial role in present, disturbing, and demanding times. Moreover, I would like you to remember that you can make a change. You can make a world a better place. Thank you all, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Colonel, for a fascinating lecture. I realized that effectiveness of army depends also on effectiveness of veterinary military service. Yeah. No one army in the world could win the battle or war with permanent diarrhea due to poor food quality. So, now the awarding of, I would like Vice Dean Jackowska-Tracz, Professor Jackowska-Tracz, to take the floor and take your veterinarian's oath.
Usiądźmy jeszcze na chwilę. Please sit down for a moment. Mr. Dean, the world is a fabric we weave daily on the great looms of information, discussions, films, books, gossip, little anecdotes. Today, the purview of these looms is enormous. Thanks to internet, almost everyone can take place in the process, taking responsibility and not, lovingly and hatefully, for better and for worse. When this story changes, so does the world. In this sense, the world is made of words. This was an excerpt from the Nobel speech of the Polish great writer Olga Tokarczuk, which is, to be honest with you, my favorite one. She says, "The world is made of words." In this short moment, I will ask you, dear graduates, to repeat some words. We proudly call this unique set of words the oath. All of us, your teachers, your parents, colleagues, your loved ones, brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today to witness your oath, the 63 words, guaranteeing that you will honor your commitment. So now, please rise. Yes, I will ask you all to rise up because this is the most important moment of this ceremony. Thank you very much. And now I will repeat you, dear graduates, to repeat after me. As a veterinarian, I promise that following my vocation and in the course of my professional duties, I will act diligently and in compliance with current veterinary knowledge, respect the dignity of the profession, contribute as far as possible to the progress of veterinary science, and fulfill my duties following the law and the principles of the Code of Ethics for Veterinary Surgeons. So starting now, we will call you Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. Congratulations. Yes, please sit down.
And now the awarding of congratulatory letters will take place. So Professor Banbura and me, we're gonna do this.
Yes, dear students, dear graduates, sorry, this is the moment. We will start with Diploma with distinctions. We have 5 of them this year. So first, I would like to come here to us, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Lia Hediati. Bravo. So this is Diploma with distinction, and the next Diploma with distinction goes to Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Colm Ryan. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Georgia Rembaken, Diploma. Also, Diploma with distinctions. Next Diploma with distinctions goes to Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Phoebe Dugdale. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Gemma Collins. This is also Diploma with distinction. And now we will continue in alphabetical order. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Colleen Avey. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Lorna Boland. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Diane Bond. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Alana Brennan. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Elaine Brown. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Vaidehi Jampanera. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Yahya Dasuki. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Rosie Day. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Leo Denat. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Rachel Gillivan. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Jonathan Goldman. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Cara Granahan. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Seman Handa. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Orna Harati. Let me think, I don't remember your name. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Gregory Phelan. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Molly Eva Higgins. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Lucy Holden. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Emily Isaacson. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Haru Kalupahana. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Thomas Kavanagh. You need to smile. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Owen Maloney. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Iria Niknamde. Don't forget to smile. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Vincent Sweeney. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Seirin Sorderlund. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Ruchita Uday Kumar. Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Heather Wiley. We also have Diploma for Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Eline Janmas, but she's not with us today, but she's graduating as well. And the last diploma goes to Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Hejin Yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were just eyewitnesses of the explosion of life, explosion of youth, and explosion of emotions. And now it's time for a speech from the academic teacher chosen by students. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Beata Czerwińska.
Just a moment, I need time. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed professors, dear families, friends, and most importantly, you, dear graduates. Today is a day, thank you for your support, you know that I need it. And I'm so moved now after this, so a moment, give me a moment. Today is a day of celebration, a moment to acknowledge your hard work, perseverance, and passion for veterinary medicine. But before we step forward into the next stage of your lives, I want us to take a moment to reflect on the extraordinary journey that brought you here. Your studies were truly unique. You arrived in Poland, met new people, and started adapting to a new country, a new language, and even different food. Slowly things started to feel more familiar. You missed home, your families, and your friends a little less. It seemed like everything was falling into place, and then suddenly COVID-19 and lockdown. We were all scared and uncertain about the future. Would you be able to continue your studies under these conditions? Could we find a way to make it work? And then online classes began. Every week we met on Zoom, something completely new for all of us. There was uncertainty and doubt. Could we really learn this way? Could we adapt to these new circumstances? We all had to adjust to find new way of learning, teaching, and staying connected. But I want you to know something. You were my motivation. I looked forward to every class, not just to teach, but to see you, to feel that together we could get through anything. Of course, there were challenges. Some didn't have a camera. Someone else had a poor internet connection, coincidentally, always during Polish class. But despite all the obstacles, we made it. You made it. And then there were the endless exams, the stress, the sleepless night. I remember telling you that everything would be fine, that you would pass because veterinary medicine, it's only for the best student. And you proved me right. The fact that you chose to study in Poland shows that you are open-minded, courageous individuals. You took a leap of faith, and today you stand here ready to receive your diplomas, providing that all the hard work was worth it. And now, as your Polish teacher, I have one last thing to say. I hope I managed to teach you at least a little bit of our language. But more importantly, I want you to remember, in Poland, you are always welcome. This chapter of your life is coming to an end, but the memories will stay with you forever. I wish you success in your professional careers. Be good doctors, keep learning, growing, and surrounding yourselves with good people. Follow your dreams And whenever you think back to your studies in Poland, I hope you do so with a smile. You came to Poland to fulfill your dreams of becoming veterinarians, and today that dream has come true. Congratulations, class of 2025. This is your moment. Thank you. Actually, it was your moment.
Thank you very much for your kind, nice words. Now, a speech from the representatives of the 5th year, Ms. Nessa Keog and Ms. Rebecca Breslin.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all. Dean Skibneski, Vice Dean Jakovaska-Trach, members of the academic community, Irish Ambassador Mr. Haughey, very proud parents and family, other distinguished guests, and most importantly, our graduating class of 2025. Nessa and I speak on behalf of all members of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine English Division, that it is truly an honour to stand before you today and celebrate your incredible achievements. Today marks the accumulation of years of hard work, dedication and perseverance. It is a day to celebrate all that you have achieved and everything that lies ahead. But most of all, it is a day to reflect on the journey and the lessons learned and the people you have become. As you sit here today, wearing your cap and gown, know that this is just the beginning of the next chapter as you embark on your new life as veterinary surgeons. We began our journey in SKGVU in September 2020, during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. This made an already difficult transition, starting university, moving away from home, that little bit more difficult. But these challenges were made so much easier by the guidance received and the example shown by the 33 new graduating doctors here today. Whether it was encouraging us from the start, you made us feel safe, sharing notes that got us through exams, running to you for advice when we were in trouble. But unfortunately, this advice was not always taken on board, but we soon realised we should have listened, that it would have been better not to go out on a Wednesday if we'd class at 8 a.m. on a Thursday.
Joking aside, most importantly, we would like to thank you for the invaluable advice, the lifelong friendships, your patience and encouragement, the chats, whether it was student dormitories, Limba Bar, Building 24, GA functions, or even just at the library. Having you as our mentors has made our time here. We encourage you to bring these wonderful qualities with you as you embark on your life working ahead. You all are a credit to your immensely proud parents and families. Your families and friends' support, although sometimes from a distance, has helped pave your journey over the past 5.5 years. The support through your most stressful times, the good luck messages, and the many prayers said, we are sure they, as much as we are so delighted to see you graduate today. On behalf of myself, Rebecca, and fellow students in younger years, we would like to congratulate you on your graduation today. We wish you every success in life and your future career as vets. We hope you all continue to support each other, and we hope you all maintain the friendships across the globe as you leave here today. Thank you and enjoy this special day.
Thank you very much. It's time for the speech of the graduates' representatives. Ladies and gentlemen, Doctors of Veterinary Medicine, Cara Granagan and Gregory Phelan.
Dean Skidnevsky, Vice Dean Jakowska-Trach, Mr. Ambassador Haughey, members of the faculty, administrative staff of the Vice Dean's office, distinguished guests, fellow classmates, our dear family and friends. We are delighted that you and our fellow classmates chose us to speak on your behalf here today.
Today is a momentous achievement for everyone joining us here and online. Thanks to all of you, we, the class of 2019 to 2025, are here today receiving our diplomas as Doctors of Veterinary Medicine.
As we stand here, we can't help but look back on the journey that led us to this moment. There were late nights, early mornings, and times when we doubted whether we would make it. We juggled classes, deadlines, and friendships, yet somehow we persevered.
We have seen each other at our best, but most certainly that was not on a 7 a.m. bus to Abori. Celebrated victories, such as getting a 3 in an exam you were sure you failed, and lifted one another through challenges, like going back to town the morning after a night before to find Orna and Molly's purse, phone, and sometimes house keys.
Our journeys to Warsaw did not just start 5.5 years ago, when with our baby faces and some not so baby faces, we boarded that first long-haul flight, be it from the States or India, or the not-so-long-haul flight, but I reckon far more gruelling, Ryanair flight from the furthest end of Dublin Airport. Many of us spotted other fresh-faced and well-dressed potential fellow classmates on those first flights, and many of us, well, we were just too nervous to acknowledge each other.
And well, within a week, we were not so fresh-faced and not so well-dressed in dendrite, but we were far more comfortable around each other. It was those initial encounters that were the foundations of the friendships and community that we leave here with today.
As we grew closer, we began to study together, go on holidays together, run marathons together, save our friends' cats out of trees together, drink vodka boats together, and, well, after the vodka boats, putting milk in each other's eyes together after being pepper sprayed.
Lifelong bonds that were made strong by many happy moments, and probably more feuding moments. But hey, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Along the way, we learned so much about each other, such as who was messy, who was tidy, and who made the best flashcards. Some of the lads, well, just tried to force Anki on us, but I have to say, Gemma, your pastel-coloured highlighters, they really took the trophy.
We also learned crucial life skills, like yes, it is in fact possible for 10 people to share one toilet and one shower, even when it was being ambushed with a ketchup bottle.
Much to everyone's disbelief, along the way, we did actually manage to fit in some academic learning.
I know for sure one of us took one crucial piece of knowledge from their 5.5 years of study, and that is, of course, Gregory. Would you please explain the Bohr effect to us all?
No speech is complete without some long-winded thank yous. And we would first of all like to thank you, our fellow classmates, for practically carrying each other on our backs. Well, except, Tomas, I think you had a medical exemption from this one.
Thank you to Leah for your colour-coded timetables. Without these, someone would still be in Building 24, wondering when the histology test is.
Maybe someone should go check and see if there's anyone still waiting there.
Thank you to our fellow year representatives. We all know who they are, and we all know how hard they fought for us. We were always waiting patiently for the next administrative curveball of an email that was about to make its way into our group chat.
Finally, a thank you to Facebook for encrypting their messaging services, as there are many frustrated views, comments, and photographs in that group chat that will stay with us all until the day we die.
Thank you to everyone who has had involvement in making today happen, from the wonderful Dean's Office staff, Anna, Dorota, and Carolina, to our Dean and Vice Dean for facilitating all of our unreasonable requests, most of the time.
Thank you to all of our amazing teachers for your unwavering beliefs in us, even when we may have been on the third repeat. Thank you to IMS for patiently waiting to receive our fees, while Margita, I'm sure you were probably thinking they'd been put through Limba Bar.
Thank you to the amazing choir, the florists, the catering staff, and everyone else who has made today the great celebration that it is.
We spoke earlier about our journeys. These journeys are something that did not start on that flight over here, nor did they start with our entrance exam, and nor did they start with our leaving certs. They started when we got our first puppy, when we saw that first section in the shed on a cold winter's night, or when you got your first dendrite hamster or guinea pig.
It was these formative interactions with animals that led us here. We all remember that fascinating person that was the vet. We must have been the only group of children who became mildly excited when our animals were sick, as it meant that we could get to see what we thought was a magical person, the vet.
Well, guys, look around, you're now that person.
But truly none of this would have been possible without one amazing group of people. Our bank managers. Sorry, I meant our parents. You were the true sufferers in all of this.
It was ye who had to come to terms with, first of all, the notion of your child studying in Poland, and then deal with the real shock, which was, in fact, can you please bring me to Dublin Airport for a 5 a.m. flight?
Without our parents and loved ones, this journey would have simply been impossible. Be it dealing with a breakdown on the phone after failing an exam, or struggling to manage finances, you were always there to listen to us.
Perhaps all you wanted to say was, I told you so, but to be fair to you, you usually managed to hold back.
Studying abroad leads to many great sacrifices. We have all lost people along the way. And while today is a joyous occasion, you should remember that those people would be immensely proud of how far you have come.
We would especially like to remember Professor Bogdan Debski, a man who had a great sense of humour and even better patience for our hungover heads on a Friday morning in the chemistry lab. We would also like to take a moment to remember Professor Arkadiusz Orakovsky, who gave us great discipline and timekeeping skills.
Some of us came here with aspirations of being the next James Herriot or Noel Fitzpatrick, and while others came from a music degree and clearly very confused about what they wanted to do with their lives.
But hey, here we all are. We were handed our diplomas and we leave this room today with a membership of a very exclusive club. We need to remember to protect and respect and cherish this and how hard it was to get here today.
Graduation marks both an ending and a beginning, which some of you might be more excited about the ending part of that. As we step into the future, we will face new challenges that push us to adapt, grow, and learn. But if our journey so far has taught us anything, it's that we are ready.
We have proven our resilience, our work ethic, and our ability to support one another, even when the road ahead was uncertain. Looking around, I see a group of individuals who each bring something unique to the table.
We are thinkers, dreamers, and change makers, each with the power to contribute something meaningful to the world.
In the words of Julius Caesar, Veni, Vidi, Vici, and we really came, we really saw, and we really conquered.
And finally, to my fellow doctors of veterinary medicine, the class of 2025, congratulations. There are two things I want you to remember before leaving here today. Never forget how you got here, and never forget that despite everything, you did it.
I'm just going to do the flowers. I would like to slightly hijack the ceremony for about 1 minute. I would like to call on Leo, Sam, Owen, Tomas, Colm, and do I need another person? Vinny? Think you need it? So we would like to ask Margita, Dorota, Carolina, Anna and our Vice Dean just for a small presentation.
Thank you very much. It was a lovely speech. And now it's time for special awards. So now I will ask the Vice Dean Professor Jackowska-Tracz to conduct awarding ceremony.
It is my pleasure to award some students. It is my pleasure to invite Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Gregory Phelan, on a stage. Please, Gregory. Gregory Phelan, an outstanding year representative. His strong commitment to his fellow students and excellent cooperation with the Dean's Office help us to improve the teaching process, making it more efficient and student-oriented. We are also proud that Gregory received the prestigious Best International Students in Poland award in the Perspective ranking, the first ever for the student from our Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. Thank you, Gregory, for your commitment and work. Thank you very much. I would also like to recognize Molly Higgins and Cara Granahan. Please come, ladies, here. For their exceptional cooperation with the Dean's Office, their active involvement and commitment ensured smooth and timely communication between students and the faculty, contributing greatly to a supportive and responsive academic environment. Thank you both for your dedication and teamwork. Okay, and here I have awards for distinguished members of the Gaelic football team. Let's start with Owen Maloney. Owen, please come to us. Owen began his Gaelic football journey with Cuman Warsaw in his first year and remained active throughout his time in Warsaw. He famously scored a goal just seconds after coming onto the pitch in the European semi-finals, securing the team's place in the final. Beyond the field, Owen led the events and fundraising committee, managed social media, and was always ready to help wherever needed. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Vincent Sweeney, please come to us. Vincent started playing with the club in his first year, debuting in Vienna and finishing his career as a captain in the Pan-European tournament in Lyon, where Cuman Warsaw won the championship. He also served as a trainer and commanded the club's social media. Congratulations. And Gregory Phelan, again, please come to us. Gregory began by assisting the club committee with events and later became vice chairperson in 2022. In the 23-24 season, he took over as chairperson, demonstrating strong leadership and dedication to the club's growth. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, let's continue with the awards by, yes, please, Professor Klockiewicz.
And now it's time for awards for summer practices. And Professor Maciej Klocz, I will ask Professor Maciej Klockiewicz to conduct awarding ceremony.
I promise no speech. Just on behalf of Polish veterinarians, as the Vice President of Warsaw Chamber, I wish you the best. You heard many more words. Anybody told you that is not a profession, this is a lifestyle. I wish you the best. To promote those of you who managed practices, well, shortage of budget again, just 2 of you will receive special prize. Dr. Lia Hediati and Dr. Yehia Dasoka.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare the ceremony closed, at the same time expressing my sincere thanks to the choir of our university under the direction of Dr. Paweł Hojna. At the end of our ceremony, the choir will perform Gaude Amus. Everyone, please rise.